Hi guys, I'm Rachel. I work at the Preschool Development Centre and I'm here to run through a couple of lessons with you. I'm going to give you demonstrations of a few things and talk to you about a few things and hopefully give you lots of really good ideas for the theme week of the universe. So after the video you can go to the blog, it's linked down below, and you can download lots and lots of free lessons there. So first up we're going to talk about the stars. So all this week during circle time it's important to talk about stars, the planets, the sun, everything that you're doing every week needs to be talked about in circle time. Sometimes for big classes you kind of want to do your introduction to the day circle time with your name song and everything in the morning, and then you want to do kind of a lesson circle time in the afternoon. Or if you can manage it, you can just kind of do a group lesson on the floor around some tables with a couple of children who are interested in this week's theme. This lesson might seem a little bit advanced for some people, but actually it's a really nice lesson and they really enjoy it. And there's always a couple of kids in the class that love hearing strange names of constellations and things like that. They love getting that obscure information that they haven't heard before. So we're going to do some star mapping with a ruler. So it's a great opportunity for the older preschool children to get in some pencil and ruler practice. We've worked all along on their fine motor skills, and now it's a chance for them just to do something interesting with them and see what kind of designs they make and the names for those signs. I've just done up a few examples here. So here's Cancer, and I've just written it at the bottom, and then I have some stars for where the stars are, and then I've done dots where the children can place the ruler and line them up, and then they can make the connection. So there's Cancer, and there's Aries, and this is Cepheus as well. They're all really simple ones. I think using the star stickers gives them something to work towards with the ruler and the pencil. It's on a really long line that isn't going to end. It's just from here to here and then from here to here. So there's obviously a lot of constellations that you can do, and they get more complex as well, with lots more stars and bigger groups, and then you have galaxies, and it goes on and on and on, and you can go wherever you like with this. But these are really nice cards to do up. Yeah, they do take a few minutes to do up, which normally isn't the style for the Preschool Development Centre. Normally everything can be done quite quickly unless you're keeping it for a while, and then obviously these are going to go home with the kids. But they are lovely and they are worth it, and I think when the kids are learning things like this, it's worth putting in that extra bit of effort. So not only are we learning our fine motor skills, obviously we're learning language, we're learning science, we're learning about space, and that learning can go anywhere, which is why I like to do it at the start of the month. Just before I go on, just in case you've been following me along and you're like, we were just doing autumn, how are we on the universe? What's the sense and rhyme and reason in that? The reason is because I'm Montessori trained, and so I like to go from the biggest to the smallest. Some people just like to do what feels nice to them week by week. Some people like to go by alphabet themes or animal themes and do that every single week. I like to start with the child in September because the child is the biggest thing in the child's whole universe, and then slowly broaden out that very personal universe. And then I like to, bam, with the universe, the actual universe that we live in. You know what the universe is, why did I say that? Okay, yeah, so in October, they're well settled, they can see themselves reflected in the room for all the work that we've done through September. And now, they're comfortable, they're going to be confident to learn. They're going to feel happy in the environment, and they're going to be ready to reach out and learn these strange names and things that they have never heard of. So that's the way I do it. And you're welcome, obviously, to take any of these weeks and do them in any order you like. This is just how I like to do it, and so that's how I present it, because it's what I know. Okay, so next up I have to show you another thing that I also put a bit of work in, but guys, it's so worth it. So these are just planet pictures. I have them all there. I made these when I was in teacher college, so about, I don't know, a long time ago. I have them over a decade anyway. And I know I don't normally get you to print things. There's these and the skeletons, and as far as I can remember, that's it. Okay, the preschool curriculum guide is not materials heavy. It is not based on printouts or anything like that. This is just stuff that we can do with our kids, with all the stuff that we normally already have or have easy access to. But pictures of the planets that are laminated have lasted me a decade, and they are perfect, and I use them all the time. I would suggest these are from, it just says images courtesy of Caltech, but I'm pretty sure in the blog I have them linked wherever I got them. Pretty sure. Anyway, if you just ask me in the comments if I haven't got it anywhere, and I promise I will source them, or source good ones at least, and let you know. So I'm going to do planet number line next. So planet number line is really great for two reasons. So first, obviously the number line, we're focused on maths, and for some kids we might just be focused on ordering the planets, and then for other kids we're just introducing the names of the planets with these lovely things. So I normally stick these on the wall for this week and next week, and then I have a changeover for Halloween. So I'll have them on the wall, or I'll have them on a tray, and sometimes, you know, I leave them on the wall, but I have them low down so the children can go over and blue tack, or sometimes I have a Velcro paper strip that I can put up underneath it, with just the number cards and Velcro on the back obviously, and they stick them. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the 8 planets. Sometimes if the kids are interested in the sun, I will also include the sun, but I'll put the sun as 0 because, you know, 0 is a very important number. It's kind of a magic number because it doesn't get any. So the sun is in our solar system, it's in our universe, but it's not a planet. It doesn't get a number because the sun is a big star. So that's kind of how I go about that. If I'm doing 0 with the children, which I may or may not be, depending on if I have them for 1 or 2 years. Planet number line, you can do this on the floor in a big group, or you can do it one-on-one with the children. And sometimes, you know, for the children who just want to have a look and are just having a try at the activity, you might actually be focused on the fine motor of picking up something thin and hard, and see how they can manipulate it, and manipulate it in quite a slippy pile as well. So that would be a very, very, very basic lesson for this, but we take what we need to make our lessons for the kids. So the next lesson I have for you is a sun collage. And yes, you might be saying, Rachel, why are you making a lesson plan for a sun collage? Well guys, I know that it is a really simple lesson, but all of our lessons need lesson plans, okay? Not just like the big fancy ones, so you might have 3 lesson plans in your file for the week. Like, that's not going to cut it for any inspections. The sun collage is yellow and orange crepe paper. You can make a large circle out of about 4 A4 sheets, just sellotape the back of them and then cut a big circle. If you have any kids that are good with scissors, you know, you can draw the circle and they can cut it out. And then everyone will put glue on the circle and stick on the crepe paper. So they can get scissors and cut up the crepe paper into squares, or they can just rip it. So wherever your kids are at with their scissor work, that depends on how you'll do it. But you end up with a beautiful feature for your wall, which, you know, you can later change into a pumpkin for Halloween if you so wish. It's the first big thing of colour that we've done this week. So it's going to go up there. And you know, I normally save this for either a rainy day or a day where everyone is bouncing off the walls, because it's going to bring them together, and they're going to get glue everywhere, they're going to glue the whole thing, and then they're going to try and stick it down and make no holes. So it's a really nice social activity as well. So the next lesson I have for you to download and print for your file this week is Galaxy Play-Doh. So Galaxy Play-Doh is just black Play-Doh. If you have those tiny little toy stars that you get in like a pen shop or whatever, did I say gold stars? I mean the glow-in-the-dark stars. I would stick them in it. If you have silver or gold glitter, you can stick it in there as well, but only after the Play-Doh has been kneaded. So the basic Play-Doh recipe is 2 cups of plain flour, 1/4 cup of salt, 1/2 cup of oil. Okay, you might need to check that on the download, but I'm pretty sure it's 1/2 cup of oil, and 1/2 cup of water, and then about a tablespoon of paint. So mix it all up and add a little bit more flour if you need. You can also make this in like a black slime or a black glue, but black Play-Doh it's normally what I go to because it's still October and some of the kids might still, you know, feel a bit iffy about sensory things. So Play-Doh is always a nice go-to. And we will just leave that on the shelf in a bowl, maybe with some star cookie cutters, or if you have any little astronaut men that maybe kids have brought in or whatever, they're really, really nice to play with. Also, if you have like little coloured ping pong balls, the kids that are doing this, if they're 3 to 5, they should be able to handle that. If they're younger, absolutely not. Ping pong balls just always give me the heebie-jeebies. But they can pretend they're planets, they can make it flat, they can organise the planets. It's just a really nice, inviting Play-Doh. It might need a little bit more paint. I would maybe do a 1/4 cup of water and a little bit more paint to get it really black if you need to, but it's really, really fun, and black Play-Doh is always really attractive. So the last recipe I'm going to go through with you today, guys, the last lesson is a recipe. It's for star-shaped cookies, and baking, I think, you know, should be done in the classroom every week at least. I think they should always be involved in food and always talking about where food comes from and developing a really healthy relationship with food. So the star cookie recipe is about, or, you know, general cookie recipe. If you don't have stars, just use a cup and make them planet cookies, you know, use your imaginations, it will be absolutely fine. They're just cookies. So it's 110 grams of sugar, 110 grams of butter, 170 grams of self-raising flour, and an egg yolk. So just mix them all up. Just throw everything in. I'm sure there's a way of doing it, but you know, they're kids, they're not going to wait. So just throw everything in, let the kids mix it up until it's a good texture, and then we will just kind of flatten it out and make the shapes. And it goes in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes at about 180 degrees Celsius. You know, it's a really, really easy cookie recipe. If you can't use eggs, use a flax egg. So it's like 1 tablespoon of flax and 1 tablespoon of water. Just leave it for a few minutes and then add that. And if you can't use dairy, obviously use a dairy alternative. I find about the same in vegetable oil kind of works out. You know, they needed to cook a little bit longer, but that's kind of what I had to hand when I had to make these dairy free. So I'm sure that if you have dairy free butter or margarine, that'll do just fine. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to tell you? Oh yeah, toilet roll tubes or kitchen paper tubes. Some people feel comfortable using them, some people don't. Some people won't accept them from outside the setting, and some people will use them from inside the setting, and some people don't use them and will just make them out of tubes. Or sorry, just make the tubes out of cardboard. Whatever way you do it, it's a really nice idea to make telescopes or talk about telescopes this week, simply because normally that conversation comes up, so they're a good thing to have to hand. That would fall in with the emerging curriculum kind of if you haven't got it planned, but it's just a good thing to be aware of, to have ready this week, because you know some kid is going to ask you, how do we know, how can we see it, where are they? And that's just something that it's a really nice activity. I don't have that lesson marked, but I just thought of it earlier today when my kids are playing with the paper rolls. So that's all I have for you this week. Please hit like and subscribe down below. It would really help me out. I'm planning on giving away a lot more content once this channel gets enough watch hours and subscribers. So if you could do that for me, I would really, really appreciate it. And then once I get that, I promise that I will never ever say those words again, because they are the most awful, awful words on YouTube. I know that it's annoying, but I have to ask because otherwise it doesn't happen. So I will be back next week and we're going to talk about the earth and further kind of funnel our learning down. So I will see you next week. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.